Hello, thank you for joining our live chat this evening. We at Sagicor have been watching, just like you have, the news on the spread of this global virus, COVID-19, or the coronavirus. There's a tremendous amount of panic and stress. Many persons are now working from home. Others are out of work completely as we watch the news overseas. Some are suddenly trying to homeschool their children, like myself. All this while wondering what will happen to me and how will my finances fare in this global pandemic. So we thought, let's have a chat. Let's talk to you or clients or friends of clients about how you can navigate this new space. I'm Alicia White, Head of Marketing at Sagicor Group Jamaica. And this evening, we want you to live chat with us. Less than 20 of us are here, don't worry, including Christopher Zaka, President and CEO of Sagicor Group Jamaica, the Honorable Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health and Wellness. No offense, boss, but I think this man is the hardest working man right now.
And he certainly dressed better than me.
We have Dr. Jeffrey Walcott, who will be with us, a consultant psychiatrist, because we really want to get into the minds of persons. Many persons aren't coping. We won't go around that. Dr. Edward Chung, cardiologist and Chief Medical Officer at Sagicor, is here. Willard Brown, Executive Vice President, Sagicor Life. Mark Chisholm, Executive Vice President, Individual Life, Sagicor Life. Kevin Donaldson, the CEO of Sagicor Investments. I know this is a lot of people, but we wanted to bring out everybody so that you could talk to everybody at the same time. Shorvell Johnson, CEO of Sagicor Bank, and Carl Williams, also our Head of Group Human Resources here at Sagicor and Corporate Services at Sagicor Group Jamaica is here. And Shani McGraham Shirley, motivational speaker and Sagicor Wellness Ambassador, IT Ellis, actor and comedian. I'm so happy that they could come and bring some levity for us. They were our Sigma Run patrons, and of course, you know, we love them dearly. Throughout this live chat, we'll be inserting a few pieces of communication we have received from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and ask that you visit the MOHW pages as well and share the information as well on your own platforms. Too much information is not on right now. So if you are tweeting or watching from any other social media platform and want to join the conversation, please use the hashtags, hashtag Sagicor Live, hashtag Let's Talk COVID-19, to let us know your questions and comments, and we can pose them to our panelists, whoever is on set at the time. I cannot take everybody's questions. I am so sorry, but we'll try our very best. We begin our chat this evening with Honorable Dr. Christopher Tufton and the head of the ship here at Sagicor, and my boss, Mr. Christopher Zaka. Don't worry, both men are a safe social distance away from me. But I'll begin with Dr. Tufton. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
You know, the whole country is asking how you're feeling, how you're doing, how you're navigating. I'm serious. We're all wondering.
I have a good team. I have a good team, a good support structure, and they've been working hard. So, and the country, I think, is coming together as one to conquer this illness. And so I'm motivated.
Right. Can you tell us the latest now? What's happening now? I know you give briefings every day, but as of right now, what are the stats? What's happening?
So as of now, we have 16 confirmed cases and 1 death. We have had to, you would have heard, just within half an hour ago, we announced a second community that will be quarantined. This is the Corn Peace community in Hayes, Clarendon, Southeast Clarendon. The members of the medical team are on the ground. The constabulary and the JDF are there also. And the reason for that is that the 1 death that we have had, a 79-year-old man, was in that facility, that community. That's where all his relatives were. He was ill for some time and was interacting with a number of persons. And the medical team felt that the community needed to stay put for the next 14 days while we go through to try and contain the possible spread. So that's really where it's at now. In the meantime, we continue to map or trace a number of other individuals across the country. And we have about 16 tests that are now waiting for final confirmation. Hopefully before the end of the night, we will know how many of those are positive or otherwise.
All right, so we're going to go to a quick break, yes. Quick break, if you can believe it, because as I said, we want to share with you some information from the Ministry of Health and Wellness while we go through this program. We'll be right back.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
So, Sir Minister, I beg your pardon, if you're just joining us at Sagicor JA on Twitter and Instagram, and Sagicor Group Jamaica on Facebook, we're talking COVID. The name of our broadcast, social media broadcast tonight, is Let's Talk COVID. Several persons want to talk, and Sagicor is just giving the opportunity for persons to air whatever is on their mind. Our first guest, as I said before, the Honorable Dr. Christopher Tufton, very busy, so he's going to be leaving us shortly. But you mentioned just now that it's 16 cases and 1 death that you have confirmed. And I want to talk about the global increase. There seems to be such a sharp increase. I personally feel like the United States just kind of woke up almost, let's say, a week ago, and now there's this rise in all this information.
Right. So the virus has traveled very rapidly. Of course, started in China. China is now indicating that they have a handle on the situation, but they are a good case to watch, because when it started with just a few persons, and in a very short space of time, thousands of persons were infected. Today, less than 3 months later, the virus is in over 150 countries with over nearly 8,000 deaths and many, many more who have been infected. It has led to significant downsizing, closures, border restrictions, and we have done our fair share. The reason being is that it's a new virus. Persons are not yet, the science has not caught up to treating the virus, and therefore it makes a number of us very vulnerable in terms of if you have it. And of course, the implications of that are not just medical, it's social, it's socioeconomic, and the world therefore many people are panicking, while others of us have to try to provide leadership to overcome.
All right, so there's a question from the public. What are the sanctions in place for businesses that have more than 20 people in the location? That's from Twitter user Jilly_Hearts.
Right. So remember now, we introduced a series of measures that, while recommending 20 persons or less, also recognize the need for essential services to function that could exceed those numbers. In terms of the penalties, I don't know offhand, to be totally frank with you, but I think it's $1 million, if I'm not mistaken. But we ask Jamaicans, businesses and otherwise, to manage their operations in a way that maintains the fundamental principle of social distancing, which is what you're doing here now, which is good, to discourage work at the workplace and encourage work from home where that is possible, but not to bring the economy or your entity to a standstill, because we're trying to find that balance, because there will be life after COVID.
Yes.
And so we're trying to address the public health issue while still encouraging entities to maintain their operations. Now, we have been rigid in a few cases where the medical assessment suggests that those may be more risky. So bars, nightclubs, entertainment, those have been asked to close for the 7-day period. But for other businesses, we have said the 20-person rule would apply. And for essential services, it could vary beyond that.
I think somebody else had asked this online as well. What is the projection for how long we will be living with COVID?
Right. So COVID will be around for a while. Now, the COVID virus is from
and I'm speaking specifically of Jamaica.
Right. The COVID virus is from a family of viruses. This is, I think, about the 6th or 7th COVID mutation. So it's a new virus, but from a family of viruses. As it relates to the heightened state of alertness and the concerns that we all share now, it's a cycle. I mean, if you go by what China has experienced, by a month, 2.5, they seem to have had a handle on it, but they have had to engage in a lot of measures. Some countries have not been as rigid, So if you look at Italy, for example, they are now coping with significant more challenges and ultimately have done what China did, which is to shut down the country. In our case, you know, my own view, and this is just my view, I think that over the next 3 months, 3 to 5 months, we are going to have to deal with the virus as a going concern in a significant way. But by then, I'm hoping we would have seen a peak and a decline, which means that we would be less concerned once we get to the peak and this decline.
Okay, do you know what that peak is in terms of number of cases?
Well,
hard question.
We did a projection actually based on the 2008 H1N1 outbreak. And the projection suggested that just over 1 million Jamaicans would be impacted. Many of them...
Impacted or infected?
Infected. 1.5 million, up to 1.5 million. Just about 400,000 would have to visit a public health institution. Another half of that, 400,000, would go to their private physicians. About 2,000 to 3,000 would end up in hospital, and about 400 or 500 would be in intensive care. So that modeling is not a precise modeling, but it's based on what happened with H1N1. Vulnerable groups, persons over a certain age with underlying conditions, even though it is now being said that we're all vulnerable if we have underlying conditions.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna talk with you, Mr. Zaka, because certainly you've been lending your voice and your mind to the task force for COVID-19 in Jamaica, the task force that has been set up. And as a result, or I don't know if it's as a result, but there have been some things that you've done here at Sagicor for the team, certainly, but then there's also the wider public, which we have so many thousands of clients who would be impacted as well. Tell us what you've done.
Well, first of all, let me congratulate the minister on really being a leader.
Yeah.
He says he has a good team, but the team has a good leader. And he's really burning the candle at 3 ends, not just at 2 ends. I'm on his advisory health team, COVID advisory team, as appointed by the National Disaster Council. And at that side, I am trying with my colleagues to do what we can to advise the minister, and he's been taking our advice, and we're very happy to be contributing and participating. Now at Sagicor, first of all, our priority is to our team, their families, and our clients. And we're doing everything in our power to keep all of our team and all our clients and not expose them. So we have a work from home policy where as many people as can work from home are working from home. We are ramping up our technology to be able for up to 1,000 people to work from home, and we're expecting about 30 days to be able to have the capacity to do so. Not that that will be so, but we're hoping that won't be so, but we're building the capacity at great expense. We are putting in social distancing. Just behind us, above us, is where the life insurance floor is, where clients come in. And normally we would have many more than 20 people in there. We have spaced out the chairs, and we're restricting the number of people there. We have hand sanitizers on every floor, on every branch. We have constant messages to our team and our clients on all media, internal media and external media, social, etc. And we're preaching the gospel according to Christophe.
There is also the matter of, I know that Sagicor is the company, or is one of the companies in Jamaica that believes so strongly in corporate social responsibility. And if there was ever a time that we need to put our money where our mouth is, it is now. So tell us what is happening on that front in terms of CSR and donations and so on.
Well, first of all, internally, we have made credit facilities available to our team members who would be impacted. We also are looking at, or have made a facility available to our life insurance advisors who are fully commission-based and will be under pressure at this time. And we are looking at any other way we can assist our team. Externally, we're part of a large group of companies who are raising a significant amount of money towards assisting the government in purchasing vital medical equipment. That information will go out shortly. officially, so I don't want to speak too much about it because we are part of a group. And Sagicor, of course, has contributed to that group.
And Minister Tufton, you talk to us about what this kind of support means, because right now in Jamaica, it is clear that government can't do it by itself.
Well,
Everything is, it all has to piece together.
I have always said that public health has to be all of society approach. I mean, we have individual responsibility, we have collective responsibility. So in the case of this virus, for example, it is highly contagious, and therefore persons have to recognize what the symptoms are and what their role is in seeking attention, isolating themselves. Part of that is public education. So this group, the advisory committee, the contribution of the private sector is geared towards, informing the public about the virus, what to look out for. It's about monitoring the contacts that come in. It's about securing the inventory that is required, because it will mean hospitalization for a number of persons and intensive care or high dependency care. It involves logistics on the ground, because when you quarantine a community, you have to go in, you have to interview, you have to do temperature logging. So this is not solely medical practitioners to solve this problem. It needs logistics experts, security experts, distributors. Chris is an insurance and everything else type of guy. He would need his brain to help us in some of the management, procurement, sourcing things. So I am very happy to sort of engage and be engaged. And part of this exercise is about that too, and we're happy for that.
There's one other question, and it would be our final one for you, sir.
Right.
Are there any further restrictions from an international perspective?
Right.
We hear of companies, I heard today of one company that shut the borders completely.
Right.
If you're out, you're out, whether you're a
Right.
national or not.
So
Is there anything coming?
we're playing it in 7-day intervals. So we are now in the midst of the first 7 days. We review in day 5, which will be Monday. If, in a sense, we have to assess our own internal arrangements based on our internal capacities, but we're also impacted by what others do, because this is a global challenge. If you look at a number of countries, a number of them are introducing restrictions, and significant restrictions. They're only allowing their nationals to come in, for example. They're allowing house quarantining once you come from a country that's affected. We have instituted a number of those measures. Depending on how it plays out, we will review and we will announce new measures as needed.
And that goes for school too, because, on behalf of mothers everywhere and fathers.
Right.
When
yes,
are you sending
of course.
them back?
Well, again, we have to care for our young people,
Yep.
and we certainly don't want them to be in harm's way. They tend to be more resilient against this virus, but they are significant purveyors of the virus. In other words, they will take it, not have any symptoms, and then they'll give it to
spread
others.
it everywhere. Yes.
So it really is important, and again, that's standard across countries, to keep them at home. But of course, homeschooling, or I know that number of the schools are doing through social media or otherwise, keeping them engaged. It's a challenge, but it's the surest way to confront the virus, by just minimizing person-to-person contact.
On behalf of Jamaica, thank you so much.
Thank you for
so
having
much
me.
on behalf of Sagicor. Any last words from you, sir?
No, I want to add, as CEO of Sagicor, our thanks to you, sir. And we will do whatever it takes to assist the government, to assist the country, and to make sure that we get over this, as I'm confident that we will.
Yeah.
Yes, and I want to reassure the country as you close, that we will get over this. This is not the first public health challenge we've had. It will just have to run its course, and we need to mitigate and minimize the impact. But we will overcome.
We'll overcome.
Yes.
Thank you. We're not done yet. Those were great words to end the whole thing, but no, we're not done yet. We have Dr. Edward Chung. He's here. Some people are wondering, what do you physically feel like? And although he has not had COVID, he's an experienced doctor, and he's studied it as much as he could to tell us what that would be like. So we'll be right back.
We are here today to talk about this coronavirus. Now, the coronavirus is officially renamed to COVID-19, and it was first discovered in China. Everybody's supposed to know that by now. This virus then find affect the respiratory system. So it come in like a flu. So you can have sneezing, coughing, runny nose, you can have some chest pain, you can have headache, you feel weak like you want to drop down and then sitting there. And everybody knows that now the virus just touched down in Jamaica. It is now important for us to ensure that we prevent the spread of this virus. The first thing we need to do, make sure say you wash your hand them regularly. You see me? Wash your hand them all the time. Just all the while. Just wash your hand them. Because if you touch one surface, you have a virus on it. See? And you put your hand in your mouth and your nose, I saw a virus spread. So now just nobody put your hand in your face. No make nobody touch your face.
Then what is?
What? If you feel like somebody sick, just nobody go around them. You see me? Just nobody go around nobody where you feel say they're sick. And whoever feels sick, just stay in your yard.
That now go happen. That will never happen. You will never live to see that.
If you have the coronavirus, it is not a death sentence. You're not going to dead automatically if you catch coronavirus. The people with the virus you kill are really the people who have some underlying medical conditions. Check the facts. These people are elderly people. You see me? The people who are older. And that means that them have a decreased immune response, which just means that the part of your body will fight off infection. For them won't really work too good because either they're old or they have some other illness on top of it. You understand? We see people are wear them masks. You see them mask here? Then put these masks on the people who have the virus. But this mask not going to prevent you from getting the virus if you don't have it already. If you put on the mask, you still have some space around the back around yourself where the virus can still catch up in it. But what the mask can help you to do is that if you put on the mask and you touch one surface where you don't know if you have the virus or not on it, it can prevent you from putting it on your face. Yeah, the people them will love come to hospital because their fingernail broke off or they have one sprained toe. Now is not the time to come to the hospital, alright? Nobody come to the hospital if you have one little rash from last year and you just want to sort out today. It don't work so, not right now. A corona time now. People, just don't panic. Please, we don't need no more panic in Jamaica right now. The year run hot already. We just need to remain calm.
You are going on the world now. You better you go your bed.
Dr. Coombs, one of my favorite, except you, sir, one of my favorite COVID-19 informational pieces from Dr. Coombs. That's what you just saw there. I'm joined now by Dr. Edward Chung. He's a cardiologist, and also Chief Medical Officer here at Sagicor. As if we don't give you enough work to do all the time. How are you? You're good, you're good. So we've been talking, and several things, and you've been advising us on what to tell the public from a medical perspective. And I thought this would be a good opportunity, or we thought this would be a good opportunity for you to share with other persons as well. One of the first things that people ask, and it's a part of this fear that everybody has, is what does COVID-19 feel like? What does coronavirus feel like? Well, how will I know if I have it? And I'm sure people are running to doctors and hospitals because they feel like, I go through it 4 times a day thinking, oh my God, oh Lord, something is hurting me, my finger hurting me, do I have coronavirus? So what does it feel like? I know you've never had it, but what does it feel like? If you can.
Let me explain to you what it is.
Yeah.
COVID-19 is a virus. It's called an RNA virus. And there are groups of which the common cold is an RNA virus and the influenza is an RNA virus. In simple terms, individuals who have COVID infection, they tend to have an influenza-like illness, meaning that they may end up with a cough or a fever. From the experience in China, we have found that 90% of individuals will actually present with a fever. Somewhere about 70% will have a dry cough, not a wet cough, a dry cough. And a smaller percentage, somewhere around 40%, may actually have muscle aches. They may very well have a sore throat, and just a feeling like you're having the flu.
And then there are some persons who have something far more severe. And I've been watching the news. My husband says, can you just turn that off for just a minute? Where people are now sharing their stories, and on social media as well, sharing their stories about what their COVID experience is like, COVID-19 experience is like. What is it like in those extreme circumstances?
Okay, we have a range where somewhere around 80% of individuals will have a mild illness. A fever that might last less than 24 hours, a dry cough, and sometimes after a few days they recover. We, however, find that there are groups of individuals in whom they may have very severe illness. They may end up with a pneumonia. They may end up with significant heart disease, such as heart attacks or heart failure. And what we have found is that those individuals who are over 65, what we would consider the elderly population, those individuals who are immunocompromised, who have a reduction in their immune system, such as cancer patients, and those individuals who have hypertension, who have heart failure, and who have diabetes, they seem to be more susceptible to actually getting this. Now, having said all of that, the COVID-19 is called a novel coronavirus, meaning that it's a new one. Mm-hmm. And the truth is, we don't know everything about this virus. So we heard today that the experience in France and in Italy is slightly different from the experience that I was just quoting for the people in China, in that somewhere around 40% of individuals who get severe disease are below 50 years of age. So therefore, everyone needs to take heed of the fact that even though majority of us may get a mild illness, there are some of us, even the youngsters, that may get severe illness, and also the possibilities are that they can transmit it to others who may get severe illness.
Do you know, I kind of wish, and I'm sure there are those watching who wish this as well, that we never said that young people are not as susceptible to the extreme cases, because now more and more, we barely talk about the elderly who are, you know, dying across the world and so on. We just hear people. We're assuming that they are elderly people with underlying conditions. But there are, as you said, younger persons who are getting this virus, and where, I do say we, are not as careful.
That's correct.
Are you finding that as well?
We are finding it. I mean, one of the important things that the government of Jamaica has put in place is education of individuals, where we need to be aware that prevention is the most important thing. The proper washing of hands, because we know this virus can be transmitted from human to human, and it usually is from contact. Mm-hmm. So washing your hands with soap and water is still the best way to do it.
Can you demonstrate that?
Well, when you put the soap...
Because, you know, I wash my hands completely different now. So, I mean,
okay.
Why not?
Well, what
when
you
you put the
you
soap.
Put the soap in your hands and you rub them together. Then, next thing you need to do is open your fingers and then rub in between your fingers. And then you rub the back of your hand with one, and then the other. And then, don't forget the tip of your fingers. That you need to do
dear.
that too, on both sides. And then when you're washing, you have to then wash it off. It is said that when you're washing your hand, you should wash your hands for no less than 20 seconds. Some people have ways of singing the happy birthday song, or various other things while they're doing it, just to make sure that they're doing it long enough. We don't have to have surgical washing, which consists of 5 minutes, but if you do it for 20 to 30 seconds, that should be fine.
Asymptomatic persons. First of all, tell me what asymptomatic actually means.
Asymptomatic, by definition, means that an individual does not have symptoms, but they have the infection.
Can you be asymptomatic the entire time you're infected with the coronavirus? Or is this something that we have to study a little bit more?
This is something that needs to be studied. Having said that, we can look at the China experience, mm-hmm. and we find that in the early stages of the infection, a lot of individuals are not symptomatic. They may become symptomatic 48 hours later. But during that prodrome, they were infected, so they were shedding the virus. They also found that children don't have as severe an infection as the adult. They do have it. And that there are some children that may appear to be asymptomatic because the illness is so mild. So I think everybody has some mild symptoms, but we would say they're asymptomatic because they're not having a big cough, they're not having a high fever, and we have to remember that there are grades at which this infection can occur, but you are still able to pass it on to another individual, even though you may not have a very high fever.
All right, so we have at least 2 questions from the viewing audience on social media. One of those questions was, what does it feel like to have a coronavirus test done?
Okay. The test that is done is one in which they'll take a swab. So they'll take like a Q-tip, and they'll put it up into the nose, the nostrils, and they'll take a swab. And then they'll put it in a special media, and then they'll take it to the lab. The other test that they can do is to do a throat swab. So you open your mouth, and then they'll wipe the back of your throat and do that. It's actually very simple.
And easy.
It's quite easy.
I hear getting that swab, it takes less than a minute.
It's less than a minute. The important thing is that if an individual is infected, the person doing the test, which is usually the doctor, has to have proper protection. Because if in the process of taking that swab, that individual cough, you're right in front of them, and if you cough straight into those person's face, if you don't have on the proper protective equipment when taking these swabs, then you potentially could become infected.
Right. All right. Well, I want to thank you very much, Dr. Chung, for being here with us this evening. You can keep your questions coming. We will ask Dr. Chung these questions as well. And if you ask beneath any of the posts that we have up on our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter page, any posts that we have about Let's Talk COVID, please make sure to tag us, obviously, and we'll ask Dr. Chung on your behalf and then answer. So one more quick break, and then IT is going to make me laugh. You're going to stay for that, Dr. Chung?
I will be here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cover your mouth when you cough or sneeze. Because if you have COVID-19, you don't want nobody to catch your disease. And if you have to go out a street and meet and greet, try to keep a distance of at least 3 to 6 feet. Nobody shake hand or kiss or hug, because things like that can make you transmit or catch the bug. Wash your hands very often and properly. That are the new protocol. And if you can't get soap and water, use hand sanitizer or alcohol. And me I gotta tell you one more thing, and me I gotta say this clear and loud. Turn out your yard as much as you can and keep away from crowd. You see things like all funeral, a damn place they enough to go. Cause there's a yai water, lala mouth water, and nose not a go flow. Yo! So if somebody you know dead and funeral a keep, right at your yard if it turn. No feel no way about it. The dopey will understand. Keep safe.
So, you know that Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I'm not used to this.
I know. Hi.
Hi.
A Wi-Fi.
So you know that under normal circumstances, we would have done a big signing and we would have done all kind of things and press release and so on. But this is the official announcement that Shani McGraham Shirley is the new wellness ambassador for Sagicor Group Jamaica. Air high five.
Air high five.
We have lots more to do, but we decided to start our work extra early. And soon, she has filmed a series of workout videos because, you know, many people are home. Many people are not in the gym. And she has filmed a series of workout videos that we'll be launching on our social media platforms really soon. So this is Shani McGraham Shirley, the gorgeous one. And IT... Okay.
Yes, yes.
The funny one.
The funny, yeah.
No, humorous.
The humorous one. Ian IT Ellis, and these are our friends. They became our friends when we did Sigma Run and did it bigger than ever before. So thank you again. But you also have your ears to the ground. And I see both of you making all kinds of posts all the time about coronavirus and what people can do and so on. And Shani, you are a mom. I've watched you drive your car behind your child while the children,
all of them were there,
while they are exercising on they're going for walks or runs. Run walks, and you are driving. This is something that we should be doing with our kids, yes?
We need
exercise.
To be. Exercise is so important.
While they're home, yeah.
And especially the fact that everybody's out of school. Remember, PE was happening in school, forcing them to be active. Extracurricular activities were going on. Now everything has come to a screeching halt. We have to keep some kind of normalcy going on, not just for their well-being, but even for their sanity, and to let there be some normalcy. Because that's what happens with something like COVID-19. It throws us way left. And all of us, our heads are spinning, trying to figure out how to manage. And I'm sure all the other parents right now are tearing their hair out of their head top all the way I go bald. Because having the kids at home and this new learning online and logging in, and I am such
Zooming.
Listen to me, I am such a computer
WhatsApp lessons.
Idiot. I'm sorry, I really am. That I was struggling. I'm sitting on the bed today with my youngest, and she's going, Mommy, I'm the only person in my class that my camera is not on the Zoom. I'm like, I don't know what to do. But it really is, we laugh about it right now, but sometimes I feel like I'm at tears because I feel overwhelmed. I have 3 kids. Every day I have maybe 15 to 20 emails coming in just from the teachers telling me which kid is to do which homework, and I'm asking the 10-year-old, have you done your geometry yet? Mommy, I don't do geometry. Oh, that's for the 15-year-old. Have you done your SBA? Have you started? No, that's for the... And it gets very overwhelming.
What do you do?
Well, first
because that's
of all,
what I really want us to...
You want real answers?
Yeah. Is your real answer a good answer? Because I will have to say mine first.
No, my answers are just real.
Sure,
The first couple of days, I'm sorry, teachers, for all the different schools.
Sure, this is me here.
I did absolutely nothing for the first couple of days. Because I opened my emails and seeing 20 each day, this is just school.
Not right, no.
I was overwhelmed. I'm like, I don't know what clock I strike. Y'all just do something. That's what it was. And then I went as far as saying, you're learning skin in science? Go up on YouTube and find something to watch. And that was the first couple of days. And then the older kids, they settled in. It's amazing how resilient kids are. They settled into their routine. The school did send, get up in the morning, you're going to have your breakfast, you're going to do this, you're going to have your devotion. And the older kids really did follow. The parents are the ones who fully understand the magnitude of what's going on. After a few days of that, I could then settle in and start assisting with who needed assignments done. But to decompress, few days in, I got extremely emotional, and I suddenly felt the weight of everything. And I had a meltdown. I won't lie. I was being so strong, and my business is struggling, and people need to exercise, and I'm...
Because you're also an entrepreneur, which is,
And my type of business, being in the fitness industry, has come to a screeching halt because nobody wants to come to a fitness studio or a gym. So that's another headache right there. So when things happen, I think as some of us go into fix-it mode, what can we do? Be proactive, take control. That's my nature. But after a while, when you realize that you don't have a handle on everything, you don't have the control, I crashed that day. You know what I mean? I had to say to David.
And then you picked yourself up?
That day I had to say to David, I'm falling apart.
David
today.
is her husband?
Yeah, everybody, David's my husband. Get used to that name. I had to say I'm falling apart. And he was like, you know, we're going to get through this. I did have a breaking day, and we're allowed, we're human. And after that, you pick yourself back up and you go, listen, bus can liquid down tomorrow. This is not the end of the world. It's teaching us how to think outside of the box. So I said the same Zoom I'm struggling with, and everybody's laughing at this, offer Zoom classes. I'm having to use something that's my kryptonite. Computers, technology scares me, but I now have to use it if I want my business to stay viable. So I think we have a lot of hope. It's for us to think outside of the box. What can we do a little differently to keep living? That's what we have to keep doing. We have to live.
Now, IT, you are a part of an industry, the creative industry. You are a creative. And let me tell you, I have friends in the creative industry, the production industry, event spaces, that I weep because so many, I mean, they receive cancellation after cancellation after cancellation. Within days.
Within days.
Projections of income just went, but you're still laughing.
Projections are eliminated because it's a field. I mean, listen, laughter is what bolsters me in this time, and I find that it does the same for people too. Listen, when I got a call from Michelin, I'm wondering if you are available. Is that word available? I was like, let me check my schedule. Yeah, I think I'm available. I might can squeeze it in. When I got the phone, I was laughing. I said, I'm very available. And the truth is that all of our colleagues are experiencing the same thing. Because I know I can confidently call somebody and say, I mean, I'm sure you're not available. I'm sure you're available because you don't have any show. All shows are canceled.
Lord.
But the thing is, we can laugh about it, and then it stimulates creativity. Okay, how do we find ways to carry on our craft? Digital platforms. What I've done some testings on my various platforms, comedy, just to do relatable stuff. Like I did a video. What it would be like to be quarantined in a car, coming from abroad and you can't get to go inside your house. What would that look like? What would that feel like? I mean, I'm sure they might share the video in a short while. But the truth is, I have to employ humor and inspiration. That's my life to really get me through to this season. And that's what I recommend for anybody right now. Get creative, do something that you didn't do with your time. I was folding up clothes the other day,
What?
Yes, after telling her yes, because I was full, because I have to.
Did you know what to do, IT?
Well, you see, my wife kind of tell me, I said, no, don't, look, you have to fold them so, because them don't hold on the drawer good. You have to fold them so, and you fold them so big, it full the space too fast, so I have to learn a particular way now.
Yeah.
And I'm cooking more now. Yes.
Sorry?
We're getting an invite? Are we getting an invite?
It's after my master. I can't come to the training stage.
I make sure the table big, so we can sit far.
Far, especially social distancing, honey.
Yes.
And this question is for both of you. I have friends, you have friends who are also not coping.
Yes.
Who are not coping. They may be going to their full-time jobs every day, but the isolation is really driving them. I don't want to say crazy, but it's just a new space that we just don't know how to navigate.
Yes,
what advice are you giving?
You see, and you said it right. It's a new space. We have never experienced anything like this. There's no case study for us to refer to. This is in itself a new case study that we're going to refer to years to come. What did we do in this space? Now, the fact is you only have a lot of time on your hands. Find some creative things. If you even go in front of the mirror and make monkey face after yourself, it might sound hard, but I'm saying these are the little things that you do. Because I'll tell you something, laughter, medicine, it's really a good medicine. It releases oxygen in the brain. I remember now you need oxygen because if your lungs are impacted by COVID-19, COVID, comedy over viruses and infectious diseases. Comedy.
I like that.
Yes, I call 19 other comedians friends and say, listen, let us gang up together and just spread
I saw another one like that.
Yes.
Over viruses and
Christ over virus. So both of them put them together, because it's inspiration and it's laughter. That is, I say, find creative, because listen, if you worry, it doesn't change anything. That's a proven fact. You're going to worry. So the point is, if you spend time worrying and then we have the reality of the situation already, it's there, it's not going away. Don't add worry to it,
And worry weakens your immune system.
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
It
It's
does.
easy to say,
Stress and worry
Is that true,
weakens
doctor?
your immune system.
Yes.
I'm not even
Yes.
looking to the doctor
I
because I'm
laugh
Dr. Shani.
I laugh to do the very, very reverse.
There you go.
The very reverse.
And what are you telling your friends? Do you have friends who are facing what?
Oh, do I have friends, period?
No, no, I know.
I'm looking some new friend now.
I know you have many. However, do you have any who are facing this kind of?
And it's funny, I find that the world feels things in waves at the same time. So when I actually made a post and I said, I'm going to be very honest and share with you guys that I had a meltdown yesterday, and the barrage of messages I got from my very close friends, from my Instagram friends going, Shani, I had the same thing yesterday. We're all feeling it. For me, what helps me is exercise. And I'm not just saying that because I'm in the fitness industry. Exercise makes me feel even keeled and leveled. When I'm feeling anxious, if I actually go and get a really good sweat, it's amazing how the endorphins changes the way I handle situations.
Yes.
So I still have people.
Sorry, you say yes because you're exercising at home?
I'm walking around now. I never used to do that. I'm walking now and jogging.
You have space for walk and jog now?
Yeah, man.
Because nobody now stop you.
No, nobody now stop you. I never keep far from it. So I have a lot of space.
So I tell them, you know, really and truly get the exercise in. I have a few friends and even clients who are still doing privates with me. They said, Shani, can I still come to you? So we respect all protocols needed, being sanitized, the cleaning, disinfecting, you keep to your space. I bought a steamer to steam clean. So I do certain things, and we have to learn how to function, because if this is what it's going to be like, whether it's going to be for a month, 2 months, 3 months, or for the rest of the year, really and truly, we can't completely stay in one room for the entire time, even if it's just to go outside. So it's how to function in this new norm. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm still saying to my friends. You're saying to respect the distance. So I'm really trying not to hug and kiss and greet because I'm such a touchy-feely person. But it's amazing. When my husband and I say to our youngest one, Mally, remember social distance, you can't hug us and kiss us. You know, she nearly fell into tears. The thought of, but I need to kiss you, mommy. And after a while, I don't know what other parents do. It was, come here, baby. If you have COVID, we all have COVID. I couldn't hold my child away and go, I'm not going to hug you and kiss you. In teaching them social distance. It's really affecting everybody in a different way. It didn't dawn on me until I heard it through the mouth of my 10-year-old, who nearly fell to pieces by us saying, she went to hug her grandpa and daddy said, remember, 6 feet, 6 feet. She once again nearly crumpled, but I want to hug my grandpa.
Right.
So it really is a lot to take in. And
you know, sometimes it helps to know that you're not alone in the way that you feel as well.
Yes, shared experience.
And also, I've checked on a lot more friends now that things are busy for us here at Sagicor as we navigate this new space, of course. But it has also allowed me some time to just say, okay, I wonder how she's doing. I wonder how she's doing. Anyway, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me a joke.
That's the important thing.
I'm
going to show you a joke in a shot. Let me give you Sunday I was at church, and we were in Sunday school. And
you went to church? You're not going to church Sunday?
But a small church.
Oh. It have less than 20 people?
To be honest, about 24. No, about 24 was there. But you know, so we space out. You answer the church. No, listen, we were at Sunday school and we were talking about a subject, and somebody coughed. Listen, I'm sure I didn't shoot it. Everybody got something. And look out, they say, oh, cough. No, I'm saying, okay, hold on, let me continue. And we are watching and say, if he cough again, he got to go in church.
In church?
So I was laughing about it. I said, whoa, I mean, you can't even sneeze now. But the thing is, we're fighting an invisible force, you know, because I can't see, or you can't see, corona, the virus, with your naked eyes. So if we're fighting an invisible force, why would you want to fight that invisible force with only visible forces? That's why God has to be employed now. You have to think about that invisible force too, to help you and to guide you to fight this invisible force. You know what I mean?
So there is, do we have the video? Do we have that video? Okay, well, IT has a video. Thank you very much, IT, for being here, for taking time out of your busy schedule. And Shani, thank you so much also for being here. You can remember, you can see her videos, her exercise videos. In fact, we should shoot some more and bring him.
I really should.
But the pressure my hard, so let's take time.
I got pressure 6 feet away.
All right, let's look at it.
Them not done tell us if I'm come in, so not let me in, man.
NASA, them not tell us say NASA, me go man. It not depend on the list, no restriction not depend on the list, me I tell them, general. You know, I can't me them man from a come in, she not let me, I don't know, I work, me go work, you know. Yeah man, some social distancing things you tell me about the government, I say. Yo, me Dave, yo, you don't know me Dave, me can't, yo, me Dave say me youth them. And I can't, then I can't sleep last night from a come in, me I tell them, general. Yeah man, I can't deal. Yeah, so me I wanna how the first day and chat tell me so me have to quarantine up myself in a car 14 days. Yeah, then I that chat. Then I that me ask her how me gonna eat. So she bring out some food and push it out and I hold it. Me ask her how me gonna be check me a backlash. So I'm look sanitize and say must sanitize my whole body. I can't deal this, but general, I want to go on a country, man. Come like said, the year 2020 need for we need to just plug it in and just plug it out back and reset that year of 2020. Right now, if Corona was an artist on stage, would I say, come off now, man, come off now. Enough.
Thank you, IT, for making it. By the way, after we just laughed, I'm going to need a smile from the two of you, if you don't mind.
This is a happy face.
Joining me now are my colleagues from Sagicor Group Jamaica. On my right, Mr. Mark Chisholm. He's the Executive Vice President, Individual Life Division. And on my left is Willard Brown, the Executive Vice President, Sagicor Life Employee Benefits Division. In a word, health, life, that health insurance, life insurance. So it's time to talk business, basically. And we've been meeting for a very long time, and very long, no, that's not true. We've been meeting, and we've been discussing various things, and you have also been speaking with your clients, you've been speaking with your clients, and everybody kind of has these just questions about this period and questions about finances. Is that something that that's a feeling that you're getting as well?
Yeah. We have several stakeholders. Our team, clients, and we have people we interact with, which are external vendors and so on. So some of the things that we try to implement is mainly social distancing.
That's with the team?
Well, not just a team. Remember, upstairs right here, we have about 6,000 clients per month. So we have to be managing like a triage where we have some people waiting down here, and we allow 20 per time.
By the way, yes, down here, we are live from the studio of Sagicor Group Jamaica, where we're in the building, in the lobby. Right. That's where we're broadcasting from today. Right. So you have implemented social distancing for the clients. There's a lot of uncertainty among clients. I'm sure when I pass, I can see the questions in their minds and in their faces. What would you say is the main thing that you have used to allay the fears of persons?
We have greeters, where people come down. We have our team members who come down and greet them and explain to them that we have some sanitization is necessary and the social distance is also necessary. Our turnaround time, we tell them the turnaround time might be impacted a little, not as significant as a lot of them would have thought. And that is from the client perspective, and I'll probably later on you'll give a question where I'll probably speak to the implementation of some contractual arrangements with the client base. With respect to teams, work from home has been our baby. And what we have found, it is very positive. The people who are working from home, we have given them the kind of equipment that they need. The only little issue we might have is some level of bandwidth when they try to sign on from the VPN spaces. But it is going pretty well.
All right, talk to me about policies, and you wanted to say something, Willard?
Yeah, so we have done pretty much everything that Mark has said as well.
This is from the health insurance side.
It's from the, let me just add something. Sure. We deal mainly with employers.
Sure.
And Mark dealing with individual, so retail, commercial, that's another distinction. We've pretty much done everything that Mark has done on his side as well, but the only additional thing for us is that we tend to have a lot of meetings with clients. And so to manage the social distancing aspect of that, we found that we've had to go a lot to like Zoom meetings and things like that so that we can still maintain the contact, but in a safe and responsible way. Because we don't want to lose the communication. We find a lot of questions coming now. People want to, a lot of things that we didn't even consider before are now coming out at us. So it's important to keep that contact and that constant messaging.
I'm going to ask you what some of those questions are, but Mark, I wanted to ask you, in terms of a policy, and I'm speaking now of insurance policies, to be clear, in terms of an insurance policy, right now I've been asked so many times about insurance, more now than ever before, both health and life. Talk to us a little bit about what you need to do, what you need to get your affairs in order right now, what you need to be doing where insurance is concerned.
Well, I don't want this to come across as a selling point.
That's okay.
But it is very important that, first of all, insurance should be a cornerstone of any financial plan that you have. Also, the idea of family protection is what insurance is about, to facilitate some level of liquidity and coverage, especially for breadwinners whenever it is necessary. However, where we have looked at the contracts that we have with the arrangements with the people who have insurance with us, if, God forbid, something happens based on COVID-19, which we're all fighting, all the benefits on the policy is intact. And
if your policy is up to date.
If your policy is, well, not just up to date, if it is enforced, because there are several levels of policies being up to date. And we call it enforced, meaning it is not terminated because you do not pay your premium. And we have had those questions many times. Clients are asking us, calling into the contact center to ask, where's my policy? Is it up to date? And so on and so forth. What we have done since that is we have started to share with the client base the different platforms that they are able. We are probably the only company in Jamaica right now with an online platform where you can buy an insurance policy without face-to-face interaction with an agent, where it seemed as if we saw COVID coming because we launched that at June last year, July last year. Also, we have upgraded a lot of our e-platforms with respect to paying your premiums. For example, you can do transactions online, paying a premium, do an encashment online, and also the option to pay your premiums, look at your policy history, look at your policies. So those things are in place. Approximately about 15–20% of our client base does use that platform. However, we encourage other clients, especially in this time, to utilize the different platforms that are made available to you. And you know, as we say, we have also looked at our portfolio, and most clients might not know, but we have, every policy you have a grace period, in which if you don't pay your premium, for example, coupon plans, if you don't pay your premiums in 90 days, then it will be terminated. So we have now extended that 90 days to 120 days. And that's the coupon plans. For with respect to the universal lifetime plans with an investment component, it is 55 days if you don't pay a premium, that the possibility of termination, even though you might still be covered. And we have added another 30 days to that. So now we have gone from 55 to 85. So in both segments, which is the coupon plans and the under-in plans, we have done an extension. And I'll speak to what we plan to do with our sales team, which is out there selling insurance, which is about 730 people strong.
Greetings, all of you. I know that there are many of our advisors, Sagicor advisors, who are watching this evening. And also, they have been constantly, I've been so warmed, my heart has been so warmed because their clients have now, more than ever, become their primary focus. If you watch what they have been saying online. Willard, one of the main things that people want to know, if I get coronavirus, am I covered under my health insurance plan? Say yes, Willard, please.
Yeah, man, the answer is yes. It's a straight yes, because we have no exclusions for particular illnesses or pandemics, or epidemics, or anything like that. If you are ill and you require medical treatment, then yes, you are covered under all our contracts. And we also get other questions, for example, because we have other benefits, such as, disability riders and things like that. And there are no exclusions. The same rules that would apply if you're away from work benefits. The same rules apply. If you're away from work due to illness for a particular period of time with the employer, then those benefits will chip in as well. So the answer is, whatever you were covered for before Corona, you're covered for during Corona.
Yeah, because everybody
and you're
thinks
probably covered for it after Corona.
Everybody thinks this is the big bad Corona that the world is. Nobody's prepared. But
Right.
you're saying that.
We're saying that. We're saying that.
There is also the issue of persons, especially as isolation and words like quarantine and can't leave home and those kinds of things start to pervade
Right.
the airwaves. Medication for persons who are chronically ill, they want to be able to get more than the standard 30-day supply. Can you
Right.
speak to that?
Right, so that one now, we're changing our stance. And I want to say that we didn't just get up and do it. We did it with a lot of consultation with certain executives in the Pharmacy Association and with some of our medical doctors as well, just to get advice on how to handle this. So as of today, what we are going to do, we are extending the amount that you can fill for your chronic illnesses. For the maintenance drugs for the chronic illnesses, we're extending it from 30 days to 90 days. Now, in terms of, we just want to make it clear that it's the maintenance drugs in particular we're speaking about, right? So, for example, we looked at the top 3 illnesses that afflict most Jamaicans, NCDs. And then we didn't stop there, we went to the top 5, then the top 7, then we came with a pretty extensive list. And as long as that, you're getting medication that you need for illnesses on that list, then yes, you are covered.
Is this a matter of, with the policies that you have discussed,
individual,
and with the health insurance plans that you have discussed, is it a matter of calling your advisor, calling your HR manager? Is that how we should approach this, or they can call us directly? People want to know who they can talk to. If they have further questions after tonight.
No. We have various points of contact. We have our agents, we have the brokers who we've given the information to. On the insurance side, we have our portfolio managers, we have our group insurance administrators, and each of these people, the clients that they serve have the contact information for them. And we have a contact center. We're one of the best contact centers in the Caribbean right now. They should feel, we want to answer the questions, because we would rather get the questions than misinformation goes to the public.
Gillian might kill me for this, but it's 888 Sagicor.
Yes.
If you have any further questions.
I just want to say one other thing.
Sure.
Because on the pension side as well, we are getting a lot of concerns, because we know some employers will be going through some transition during this period. Right? Mm-hmm. And individuals are wondering, will Sagicor be able to stand up to their usual benefit turnaround time? And the simple answer is yes. Matter of fact, as of today, we are changing one of our processes. Normally, people would have to fill out a form to access their withdrawal benefit. We have now created an online fillable version that people can go online, fill it, email it to the pension administrator who would usually service to them. We would do calculate the benefits, and then make a simple payment to a bank, straight electronic transaction through and through,
Isn't it
paperless
amazing?
and quick.
This has caused the digital revolution in Jamaica.
Well, the digital revolution started from both of our sides.
For both of you,
we're going further and faster.
We're going further and faster.
Everyone else has had to do so much.
Even Cayman,
electronically.
because just to update you, in Cayman, the first kind of COVID-19 happened there, and the person died. And the same applications in Jamaica applies to Sagicor Life for the Cayman Islands also, because in Cayman, we are the largest insurers in that country. And we have since implemented several of the platforms that exist in Jamaica for the Cayman environment. We're still doing some work on some, but every single thing is intact. Your benefits are intact. With respect to the individual health plans which we sell, Willard manages those for us, and the same applications that Willard just mentioned with respect to medication, group life benefits, and the benefits that is covered under that plan, the individual health plans. You go to a doctor, if it is COVID-19 you're suffering from, the utilization will remain the same and is intact.
I want to thank you both very much. You have very long days nowadays, I know that.
Very.
And, but you are here, so thank you so much, and the clients really appreciate it as well. Look at my phone, there is a question. Who is the question coming from on my phone? Okay, okay, wait. I have maximized my prescription benefits. Is there any additional benefits at this time for persons with critical illness? How can they up the benefit?
Well, the thing with that question is various plans have different limits. So they may have maximized the benefits in the drug level, and it now goes into the major medical, in which case they could simply pay and submit. And if there's and there are other plans, for example, that they may have maximized the benefit, and it's an annual thing that will be reset. Or, so it's a hard question to answer without knowing the specifics for the policy.
Right.
That's the truth.
There's another question. How soon will we be able to access the excess meds? And you did answer that just a short while ago.
Right. We sent out that information to the pharmacies either yesterday, I believe, or today.
Yesterday.
So as of tonight, as of today, they can access the benefits.
All right. Thank you so much. We're gonna, sure.
Yeah, just quickly.
Well, let me just tell the audience first that we're gonna indulge you for a little bit longer. I don't have to throw to any other program. This is it on our live feed right now. So we're gonna indulge you a little bit or we're asking you rather to indulge us a little bit further so that we can talk banking and investments. But you had something else to say.
In closing, just to say, a big part of our stakeholdership is our team members, which is administrative and advisors. Our advisors are fully commission-based. So we have implemented some stuff to facilitate them, to transition them through this particular period. I think Willard has done that too for his team members, where our expectation is there might be some downturn in their activity and so on. So we have done some calculation. We start to look at how we can assist as best as possible, because these people are breadwinners for their families, and we want to ensure that every single thing that we do at Sagicor is intact.
Thank you. All right, so banking and investments. Up next, tough questions coming up in a tough, right after.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with the cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Welcome back. I have some tough questions for the next two persons. But first, I want to say, Dawn, I'm going to stop touch. I don't know who Dawn is, but Dawn, see, what happens is I subconsciously or unconsciously, I touch my face all the time. And during this period, I know that we should not be touching our face. So I'm going to be transparent and just wipe it properly so that I can stop also getting the messages about you're sweating. A long time ago, this thing. We used to do it a long time ago. Anyway, so I have some tough questions for the next two persons who have joined our live chat tonight. Mr. Kevin Donaldson, Executive Vice President, Sagicor Group, and CEO, Sagicor Investments. And he's been making sure that we think wealth.
Hi, everybody.
And you're going to tell me that I should be still thinking wealth, I hope. And we have the bell that heads Sagicor Bank, Charvel Johnson Cunningham.
Nice.
Hello, how are you?
I am fine.
Yes, you're also homeschooling-ish. You too?
No, I don't have that problem.
Oh, is only me one of the issues?
No.
Okay. All right. So, Charvel, I'm going to start with you. And I'll go simple first.
Okay.
The bank is still open. We are still open.
Yes, we are still open.
Where all our branches are still open. There may be some changes in terms of hours and that kind of thing, but we are open.
Yes.
Persons want to know, especially in this period of such heightened fear, what measures have been put in place at the bank to ensure that the place is sanitized and so on and so forth.
Good evening, viewers. So the first thing I'll say is that our first priority initially was our team members, just to make sure that they're educated and that they're comfortable with the measures that we've put in place. So once that occurred, then, we moved on to our clients. Several times during the day, we're sanitizing our branches, our ABMs. We have also implemented 2 tellers for senior persons to come in earlier.
It used to be 1.
Yes, it used to be 1, but we recognize that our seniors or elderly persons are most affected by COVID. So the aim is to, get them out of the branches quicker. So as soon as they come in, they're out. Lifts, door handles, all of those things, we're making sure that everything is in place. And hand sanitizers, as you walk through a Sagicor door, the first thing you're told is to sanitize, right? And then you're reminded about the social distancing. And we should have decals in the branches within the next week so that, just in case people don't know what 3 feet is, that should be there as well.
All right, this is in the lines.
In the lines.
Another thing I often tell persons, you're welcome to come into our branches, but you really don't have to, especially if you have some things that you can do online via eBank.
So
talk about that.
eBank or Transact. We have eBank that is available for everybody. So if there are transactions that we can do via eBank, like you do your transfers, you do your bill payments, all of those things. If you don't have to come into the branches, don't come in there, right? There is hardly anything that you'd really need to come in a branch to do. And failing that, if it cannot work on eBank, you can email us at transact@sagicor.com and we get those transactions done as well.
All right, so this is, I don't want to call this the elephant in the room, but so many of our clients of both bank investments and life at Sagicor are going to likely go through a rough period. I'm talking about our SMEs, and I know that these, especially the SME sector, is near and dear to your heart. Is there anything that you care to share with us about what Sagicor Bank will be doing to help them through this period, through this?
Well, the fact is Sagicor Bank is always in our clients' corner. So we have started to have conversations, because I've gotten calls, I've gotten WhatsApps. Some people, especially in the tourism industry, you're hearing right away that they've been laid off, right? Raw materials they can't have. And for a small business, you don't have your raw material. That's basically, you're holding your head. So we've been having one-on-one conversations with our small business persons and just, you know, listening to their stories, seeing how best we can assist them, and, you know, just trying to encourage them, because it is a tough time. Most of us have not been through something like this before, and we're ensuring that whatever advice we give them and whatever initiatives we put in place and options that we put in place for them, that it is best suited for them. So one of the things we say at Sagicor Bank, it's not one size fits all, right? So it's on an individual basis. So one small business owner might come in and we do something for them. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the same thing that we'll do for the other persons.
But the point is, though, that you are extending payment holidays or moratoriums, or
it's been done on a case-by-case basis,
right?
Right, and it depends on the analysis of the financials for that entity, or it depends on that person's overall personal financial plan and what is happening in their life, that we decide or determine what is the way to go.
So you have also had or commissioned your business bankers, relationship managers, and so on to reach out to persons, but you said that in the event that the urgent assistance is needed, they can just
email us at sbj_covid support@sagicor.com. So, but what I'll tell you now, Ali, and you know, I have to big up my team because they're doing an excellent job in a rough time. I had a meeting with some of the business bankers this morning. When you listen to the amount of the clients that they've called already and the discussions, it felt heartening that in Jamaica, we still have that caring that is going on about each other. And I think that is what will help us through all of this in the next 6 months. So we're listening to our clients. I've been getting WhatsApps, emails, so have my leadership team, you know, from different people saying this is what is happening with them. And we're saying to them, hold the strain. Sagicor Bank will always be in your corner, and we'll always find a solution for you.
All right, there is a question from the public. Will I still be charged to do, or will there be a reduced charge to do transactions?
Everything is fluid now, right? As the situation evolves, we are looking back on how we operate. We might not necessarily charge now. We might be charging now, but maybe in the next 30 days, we might look on it and do a review.
But you did do a review, and there was a reduction. I believe it was RTGS.
Not for, well, for RTGS, not Transact.
Yes.
For RTGS, there will be a reduction. I believe it will be effective Monday morning, because the BOJ has also reduced their RTGS fees to us.
All right, and on the credit card side,
so
people will be swiping.
One of the things that we do at Sagicor Bank, you know, because we're always in client's corner, even before this reached to this where we are at now, we had looked at some of our business card holders and said, you know, listen, they're going to need some support, right? So we did some temporary limits for them. So most of our business card holders received temporary limits, and they also received a payment holiday. So that occurred. And we also looked at some of our consumer credit card holders that were in good standing, and we also gave them increases. You know, any little thing that we can help to take away the pain points, that's what we're looking on. You asked about fees. I said, you know, that's a fluid situation, that it will be reviewed. But one of the things we'll continue to do is listen to our clients and listen to where the pain points are and see what we can do to assist.
All right. So Kevin had me investing in everything, told me invest, and then one of the things that has happened over the last, I would say, week, I was saying it earlier to Dr. Christopher Tufton, that when the United States started to carry this, every day I wake up and some stock is crashing and something is dropping, and investments, and what does that all mean?
Well, good night, everyone. Investing is something that once you start doing it, you have to understand that there are cycles to businesses, right? And economies go through different phases. And what we're facing now, we believe, is something that will help investors to understand that markets go up and down.
But this is down, though.
It's down, but remember, 12 years ago, we had a financial crash right across the world where it affected some big names, and we recovered. So what we said to investors is that if you listen to the noise in the market, you will get worried. What we're facing is something that is not about finance right now. It's a humanitarian thing. And what we at Sagicor Investments, we're firstly concerned about how you're doing. Are you doing what is necessary and protecting yourself? And then secondly, we have to sit down and say to you, what is happening in the economies of the world? And what should you do about your finances? And the first thing that we are saying to persons is that you have to understand, why did you invest? What was the reason? And maintain that focus and understand that this is something that is temporary. Yes, it's going to cause a change. And you have to understand you're not invested in anything flippant. You're invested in an asset, in a company. And what do people that lead a company do? If there is a challenge, they will pivot and they will find alternative sources of revenue to support their business, because businesses will have to continue. Just like how Charvel is supporting her clients by helping them to refinance their loans or restructure. It's the same thing businesses go through. Sagicor itself, Sagicor Investments, the first thing we did, we looked on our processes and said to our clients, you don't have to come in anymore. Use these different channels. And we are making it easier for you. We lowered our online trading fees. So
yeah, talk about that, because that seemed to be almost like, whew, so 0.05%, I think it is.
Yeah, what we're saying to people is that we want to make this time of uncertainty, easier for you. So what we're saying, we're available. You have questions, we'll guide you through it. And from the comfort of your home, in the isolation, while you bond with your kids and battle the homework and whatever fun you're having with your spouse, you can go on your laptop and buy your favorite stock. That's what I'm saying. And the market doesn't change. Businesses will pivot. Businesses will do well in this environment. I'll give you an example. Amazon is hiring 100,000 persons because they cannot deal with the volume of online transactions. It's the same thing when the world transitioned from being an agrarian society to industrialization. Some old ways fell by the wayside and those companies fell away. But if you were in the companies that were going to benefit from the Industrial Revolution, you made a lot of money. So what we're saying to persons is, while you protect and take care of your family, start thinking about what is going to happen next when all of this is done away with.
Okay, so is it now time, start thinking about it, before I panic, think about what is coming in the long term, sure. But should I be, what do you call it, using my investments or pulling out my investments in order to pay for groceries and that kind of thing? Is that?
Well, everybody's situation is different, right?
It's a real question.
So if you need the money to feed your family, because you know, if your kids stay at home, you're going to have a little bit more snacks that you have to buy, right?
Yes.
If you stay like me, you budget, right? And you're going to have to find additional income. So if you need to do that, you have to do it. But investing is about the future and about what you think. So if you really got proper advice when you went in, what is happening now shouldn't cause you to change course. If you were in a company that we thought that wasn't going to do well in this environment or going forward, then we'll tell you to exit and pivot into something else. What we're saying to persons is that now is not the time to panic. Firstly, take care of your own, be aware of what you need to do, protect, and then consider your future. Consider what you need to be doing to continue after this crisis is over. Because as the minister said, life is going to continue.
After COVID, there is life.
China is already, I said to somebody at my office that 84% of the Starbucks are opening in China right now. What that means, Starbucks not going to open their businesses unless people are going to need to drink coffee, right? And why people need to drink coffee? Because they're probably working late and stressing themselves again. So the point what I'm making is that after a crisis, there's life again. When a forest burns down, it brings new plants and they spring up bigger than before. I'm just saying, consider these things when you're looking at this crisis.
Okay, so I was told 3 things. 1, diversify your investments.
Yes.
Now?
It comes back to my point. What is your goal? And how can we help you get to that goal? So it could mean that you are too concentrated in one sector.
Right.
And we need to help you to pivot in or have options that will enable you to get to your goal. So yes, diversification makes sense. Because if you had all of your money in China, you'd be worried now. If you had it in Italy, you would be worried now. But if you had it spread across, you probably could withstand all the fluctuations.
I was also told buy stocks amid uncertainty. No more uncertain than right now.
As I said, this is not the first time we have been uncertain.
By the way, this is somebody I work with, so I know he's Mr. Hopeful and Miss Positivity on my right. So, I mean, to try and shake them is hard, but...
No, guys, I tell you, you see me looking like this. This crisis,
opportunity,
this health crisis is something serious. Don't make no mistake about it. So what I'm saying to you is no. I'm now taking off my father side and saying to you that as a financial professional, times like these are opportunities. Just remember, in 2008, Citibank on the US stock exchange was selling at $1 because of the financial crisis. I asked you to Google and check where the price is right now. The second thing is, in our financial crisis, another entity struggled. It was trading at $2. You know where it is now?
And the biggest what?
I'm just saying that these opportunities come along. Don't spend your money now. Get proper advice and then leg in at the appropriate time, whichever market you choose to invest in, because these times present opportunities. That's just how life is. So you have to be prepared for it. And those that have the best information, are aware, and remain calm will benefit from this environment.
All right, Charbel, I'm going to ask you, you have been through, on a personal note, I did not tell her we were going to talk about this, or like this, but on a personal note, you've weathered your own storms. Do you have any advice for persons right now? You've been advising me, but do you have any advice for persons about weathering this particular storm? By the way, we were unable to reach Dr. Jeffrey Walcott. He was supposed to join us by video conference. And unfortunately, sometimes the technology, we're going to work it out though. You're going to get it together. Sometimes the technology does not work with us. But for you, I know that you do have a lot of advice when it comes to positivity and weathering the storm.
Oh boy. Thanks, Ali. You know, there are a couple of things. First of all, we can't panic, right? And right now, a lot of us are panicking. And we have to ensure that the information that we're getting is the correct information. Because one of the things that you have running around the place is once you see COVID, everybody opens, this is happening, and we haven't checked to make sure. Once we've done that, for me, the first thing, make sure your family is okay. Family always comes first. You know, no matter where in the world they are, that's your support. Once those people are okay, then now you need to focus. Focus on what will happen in the next 6 months. If you're like Kevin and you budget every month and you know that you have your teenagers in the house, that budget not going to stretch. So you know that they're home, the fridge going to be empty. You can't panic. You have to budget for it from day one. So we need to all take a step back. Always say have an out of body position where you can look down on what is happening. Take that step back, look back on all of those things and say, okay, so Kids are home, I need twice the amount of money. Where am I going to get it from? I'm still in a job, you give thanks for that, and that is the biggest thing. You have to always be giving thanks, and you always have to be positive. You see, once you go into that negative hole,
gratitude is a must.
you see, once you go into that negative hole, everything is going to go downhill. My favorite thing is positive vibes, positive actions, positive results. So no matter what is happening, you have to find a positive thing in there. I was saying to my team today, you know, opportunities. We have to talk to our clients about the opportunities, because we're going to have clients who will be balling down the place. They can't get raw material. They don't know how they're going to survive. The business is closing down. You have to be that positive air in there to say, we are here for you. We are in your corner. We'll work with you through this process. Right? And while I am saying it to everybody, it's reinforcing it to me that I need to be positive, I need to be frugal, I need to listen to what Kevin is saying, because there are lots of opportunities out there. And, you know, just speak to a banker who is in your corner. Speak to my team members. They know what it is like, and they understand your businesses, and they will hold your hand through the process. If you can't get them on that same SBJ_COVID support at sagicor.com, I'm also on it. My team leads are also on it, so everybody should be fine. So Ali, you know, Bob Marley said, don't worry about a thing, because at the end of the day, every little thing is gonna be all right.
You're gonna sing it?
Yeah, you want me to sing? But guys.
All right, well, wait, before you sing, were you going to sing?
I could try.
He could try.
Wait, I feel like I interrupted something pivotal. Anyway, there's a question for you from our online audience, Kevin. How can I start investment online?
All right, so, you know, I should know the email addresses that you can email. But
we'll tweet
guys,
them out.
what you see here, I'm a very straightforward person, so I don't remember the email addresses. But if you go on Instagram right now,
it will be
if you go on Instagram right now, you will see a list of email addresses that you can send your request to, and someone will call you. If you have Instagram or Twitter, just link Sagicor JA, and they will tell you the details, and we'll start you off on the process. Guys, we're here to help you.
Mm-hmm. Right, so there is a post that we posted about 3 hours ago that's at Sagicor JA Instagram, and it does have the instructions or the email addresses of the officers in the different areas. So depending on where you are, then you can give somebody a call or an email or 888 Sagicor. Jillian is going to kill me tomorrow morning.
Or you can't just link me. Just look me up.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Guys, things are serious. We have to still keep
There has to be some fun in all of this.
We have to laugh. All right, so as I said, Dr. Walcott could not join us. But this was fun. I could do this again. And I'm sure that there are those persons who we really do want to hear from you on a regular basis. So providing we're in this for a little while longer, maybe we'll be able to do this kind of chat again. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, whether you're watching on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. And finally, I just want to say that there is, each one of us, whether we know it or not, we have a village. I certainly have mine. And yesterday when I felt like there's too much stress, I'm breaking down, it's too much stress, it's too much stress. I have my village at work, and I have my village at home, I have my village at church. Reach out to somebody else if you feel like you're at that breaking point. There have been times when I've been at a breaking point and dead broke, and somebody else reached out, or I reached out to somebody, text shame out of my eye, and I reached out to somebody and they were able to help me. There are people who can help if you are at that stage. Yes, sir.
Sorry, don't mean to cut you. I just want to add to what Ali is saying. Jamaica, if we stick together, there's nothing that's going to stop us from coming out of this strong. And I have to say this because I just believe this so much, that this is a moment in time that we're going to look back and say, if it didn't happen, you know, Jamaica is going to be stronger as a result of it. So just don't give up. The people that losing their job, don't give up. It's going to work out, because this is a time that
It's a part
is
of
a
the
test,
plan, yeah.
and you will come out better.
Yep. Keep smiling. I think that is it. Just keep smiling. Keep positive.
Are you going to sing?
No.
Okay.
You have to join me.
No, that's not happening. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Chorvel. Thank you everyone who participated tonight, and thank you so much to those of you who are online and asking questions. We'll still try to answer every one of your questions as you pose them to us. Have a wonderful evening, and we are going to come out stronger.
Amen.
Yep.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with the cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.